my name is Naisha, and welcome to my channel of my MS stories and glories. Okay, so I have started this channel because I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis 13 years ago, 2009, and I was just 27 years old. I've had it long enough now to kind of be on the other side of the initial fear, anxiety, depression, you name it, we know it. Not saying that it never gets to me, but at this point, I'm really just determined to continue fighting this, and that's why I say stories and glories. Okay, and that being said, I'm going to tell how what led up to my diagnosis. So I had just started going to the gym. It wasn't very long. It was probably like a week and a half-ish. I was really trying to get in shape. I've done this multiple times before, but I was trying to get in shape. I'm on the treadmill, and all of a sudden hits me like a bag of bricks, so to speak. My legs are so weak that like I cannot go on. I need to step off of this treadmill and I make it over to this bench. I have to sit there for quite some time after trying to get up and noticing, nope, they're still weak. Trying to get up again, nope, they're still too weak. So I go home, and honestly, oddly enough, that was that. I guess like just the first episode, so to speak. A couple weeks go by, it's just kind of like a one-off thing. Haven't had any additional issues at all. But then one day, the next thing started, which was like my biggest problem, I would say, overall, since I've had MS from the beginning, and that was muscle spasms. Problem was, I didn't know what a muscle spasm was. I didn't know that's what I was experiencing, but it would be on my left side, and it would kind of like paralyze me, and it felt like an extreme buzzing, and it would just, obviously for those of us who know what a muscle spasm is, we know what happens with it. So that started to happen, but it didn't just go, come that day and then go away like the leg weakness did. It continued, and then it got to a point where it continued daily. And then that actually traveled up into my head. And this was all just happening on my left side. So now it's scary. I'll be honest. I tend not to go to at that time, doctor for everything. But now I need to go because I don't know what's going on. You've got my mom like, you could be having a stroke. What's that going on? If you're saying something's happening in your head, this, that, and the other. So I'll go to the doctor. I go to my primary care. And I let them know what I've been experiencing, that it's happening on a daily basis. It's affecting my immune at work and things like that. You just need to lose weight. Okay. All right. Frustration number one, because I'm not imagining these things. But okay, if that's what we're going to go with. But it continued and it continued. So I had to do on my own. I had to do some research and get into a neurologist. Got to neurologist number 1, number 2, 3, and 4. During those neurology visits, I've had numerous tests. You name it, I had it. I had needles in my arms, in my hands, in my head. I had an MRI, and all these things. And neurologists 1, 2, and 3 said, I don't see anything, even reading these MRIs. So eventually, I get to this 4th neurologist, and meanwhile, I'm steady having the muscle spasms daily. I'm steady, having what now has developed into like a shade over my right eye. Guys, I have 20/20 vision. That's the only thing I could brag about. I'm camera shy because of a number of insecurities, I'll admit, and things like that. But my eyesight, I had that, if nothing else. Nope. Now I have this shade over my eye. And this is just, my body's just steady being attacked. Okay, so I get to neurologist number 4. Miraculously, this neurologist goes into another room, reads the exact same MRI that I started with the first one with, comes back into the room within a 5 to 7 minute time frame and tells me he sees what could be multiple sclerosis. By this time, guys, I actually had an inkling that it could be that. With all the Googling and researching, it wasn't as nearly as bad as it is nowadays. But yeah, and it was just a huge sigh of relief. He scheduled my test, the spinal tap, and then the additional eye test. I got to the eye test. I already had the MRI, but before I could get to the spinal tap that I was afraid of, I had an episode of I literally urinated on myself. I could not feel, I didn't know how numb actually that my legs and things had gone. Urinated. But this physician was stellar. I called and left a message. This physician, this neurologist, he called me back himself. He told me to check myself into the hospital that he works at. Told them to, told me to tell them that he said to do so, and we get my next test done immediately while I was there, and that's what we did. And from that last test, I stayed in the hospital for a couple days. I had people come in and out to see me. I had different neurologists there. Funny story that happened with that, and I'll go into those type of things later. But yeah, and when I got those tests back, that's what it was.